The most pressing issue on Ethereum is validator size growth. If appetite for staking on Ethereum does not slow meaningfully over the next several months, the size of Ethereum's validator set could become problematic for the blockchain, says Christine Kim, Vice President of Research at Galaxy Digital. On Thursday, September 14, Ethereum protocol developers made a last-minute decision to include an additional code change in the forthcoming Cancun Deneb upgrade as a stopgap to the issue of validator set size growth. The short timeframe under which this decision was made has sparked controversy in the Ethereum community. Anthony Sassano, the creator of Ethereum-focused media site The Daily Gwei, said the decision needed a lot more discussion, research, and thought. Ryan Berkmans, founder of Ethereum payments app 3 Cities, tweeted that in his view the situation was not urgent enough to warrant a change to the Cancun Deneb upgrade. Though it only took 1 week for Ethereum protocol developers to come to consensus about making a change to Cancun Deneb, the larger issue of Ethereum's validator set size growth has been a major topic of discussion and concern among developers for months. On July 13, when the proposal to cap the validator churn limit in Cancun Deneb was first raised by Dappelion, a pseudonymous developer for the Lodestar client, on ACDC number 113, developers acknowledged the time-sensitive nature of the matter. The validator attestation aggregation is almost at its capacity today. If we drop more validators on the network, it can really get worse, said Mikhail Kalinin, a developer for the Tiku client, on the call. During testing for a new Ethereum test network called Holesky, developers noticed that at 2.1 million validators, which was 3 times the size of Ethereum's mainnet validator set at the time, the testnet struggled to finalize due to an excessive number of attestations, messages, being propagated through Ethereum's peer-to-peer network. Eventually, developers settled on designing Holesky to support 2 times the size of Ethereum's mainnet validator set, or 1.4 million validators. Once Holesky launches, it will be an invaluable resource for developers to monitor and assess both the health of Ethereum, as well as future code changes, on a large validator set. However, the rate at which Ethereum's validator set size is growing will soon make Holesky's value obsolete. As of September 15, 2023, there are 806,759 active validators on Ether.